Let's start by thinking about what shadows really mean in our lives. When we talk about the shadow, we don't mean just the dark shape you see when the sun shines behind you. In the world of psychology, the shadow refers to the parts of our personality that we keep hidden, either because they scare us or because we think they are not good enough. Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." This quote reminds us that there are feelings or ideas and memories lurking below the surface, the unconscious, guiding our actions without us even knowing about them. The unconscious, that hidden part that can sometimes include worries or hurt from the past, is what we call our shadow. So how do we face these hidden parts? How do we accept our history so we can actually be set free? To answer that, we need an even better understanding of what the shadow means. Understanding the shadow. Let's think of the shadow as a container for everything you are, including those things you might not be proud of or have trouble accepting. It's important to understand that having a shadow does not mean you are a bad person. In fact, it's something natural that every human being has. Here's an analogy to make things clearer. Imagine that your mind is like an iceberg. Only a small piece of an iceberg is visible above the water, while most of it is hidden beneath the surface. The visible tip is like our conscious mind, what we are aware of every day. But below the water lies the vast majority of our mind, the unconscious. This part of our mind stores feelings, experiences, and memories that may influence our actions and decisions without us even realizing. Our shadow holds all those qualities and memories we sometimes push aside. By acknowledging our shadow, we give ourselves the chance to learn and grow from experiences we might have ignored before. So, what does it mean to make the unconscious conscious? Carl Jung believed that by recognizing and understanding these hidden parts, our shadow, we can take control of our lives instead of being secretly guided by fears and unresolved issues. In other words, when we understand why we do certain things, even those actions that might not be very pleasant, we can start to change them for the better. In turn, we become better by embracing our history. And this brings us to the next point, embracing your history. Now that we have a basic idea about what our shadow and unconscious are, it's time to ask, how do we embrace our history? Embracing your history means looking back at the experiences that have made you who you are, including those difficult moments that you might try to forget or hide from. Every memory, even the painful ones, carries a lesson that can help shape your future. For example, consider a story about a young person named Matt. Matt grew up in a rough neighborhood and faced many challenges that left deep emotional scars. For a long time, Matt tried to forget the past, believing that the bad moments defined them. However, after a while, Matt realized that every experience, no matter how painful, taught valuable lessons about resilience, hope, and the importance of personal strength. By learning to accept and understand these experiences, instead of running away from them, Matt discovered new ways to grow and heal. This is the power of embracing your history. It doesn't mean you celebrate every mistake, but you learn from them and use them as stepping stones to a better future. Furthermore, embracing your history is like putting together a beautiful patchwork quilt. Each piece of fabric, no matter how small or worn, adds to the overall design. Just as every patch makes the quilt unique and full of character, every experience in your life makes you who you are today. When you accept both your light and dark sides, you create a full, rich picture of yourself. Remember, each piece has its own story and significance. In addition, being honest with yourself about your past can lead to deeper self-understanding and healing. When you stop fearing your shadow, you open up a space for growth and transformation. As Carl Jung said, your vision will become clear only when you look into your heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes. This means that by turning inward and examining your past, you can start to see your true self and awaken to your potential. Now, let's move on and discuss why understanding your past is so important for healing and self-improvement. Self-understanding and healing. When you take the time to look into your past, you begin to see patterns, emotions, and beliefs that have been hidden deep within you. This is where the process of healing starts. By acknowledging your shadow, you get a chance to understand your fears, mistakes, and even the small successes that have shaped you over time. One very important key term to remember here is self-reflection. Self-reflection means thinking about your actions, your thoughts, and the experiences that have left a mark on you. When you pause and reflect, you can ask yourself questions like, "Why did I feel this way?" Or, "What can I learn from that experience?" These questions lead to answers that help you heal old wounds and embrace new ways of thinking about yourself. Moreover, when you accept your past, you let go of the heavy burden of guilt or regret. It's like cleaning out a room full of old items that no longer serve you. By sorting through these items and choosing to keep only what is valuable, you make room for new, positive experiences. This self-forgiveness is a vital part of the healing process. Something else needs to be said. It's that understanding the part of you that you once hid away, that is, the shadow, can transform how you interact with the world. You learn that your past, with all its ups and downs, is not a chain that holds you back, but rather a teacher that shows you the way forward. Healing happens when you embrace all parts of yourself, and this makes your future richer and more fulfilling. Let's move forward now and talk about some practical steps you can take to embrace your past and start the healing process. Practical ways to embrace your past and heal. So, what can you do to start embracing your history and working with your shadow? These are 5 simple but powerful steps you can follow. 1. Journaling. Writing about your thoughts and feelings is a great way to understand the events of your past. Start a journal, and each day write about one experience that made you feel strong, happy, or even sad. Over time, you'll see patterns emerging that can help you understand yourself better. 2. Talking to someone. Whether it's a friend, a family member, or a professional counselor, talking about your past can lighten the load. Sometimes when you hear your story out loud, you begin to see things from a new perspective, which can be very helpful. 3. Meditation and mindfulness. These practices help you stay in the present moment. When you meditate, you learn to observe your thoughts without judging them, which can slowly bring those hidden parts of your unconscious into the light, so you can understand and heal them. 4. Creative expression. Sometimes drawing, painting, or playing music can give voice to the parts of you that you cannot put into words. Creativity can be a bridge between your conscious self and the hidden areas of your unconscious. 5. Forgiveness. Finally, learn to forgive yourself and others. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting what happened. Instead, it means accepting it as part of your journey and deciding to move forward. Just like a tree grows rings from each year of life, your experiences, whether good or bad, help you grow stronger. To sum it all up, we explored some powerful ideas. We learned what the shadow is, understood the nature of the unconscious, and saw how facing these hidden parts can empower you. We talked about how practical steps like journaling, talking to friends, meditating, and forgiving yourself can help in embracing one's past. Along the way, we shared the story of Matt and how he embraced his shadow after using his painful experiences as lessons. So, what's the takeaway from this? Well, It's to remember that your journey to healing is personal and unique. Sure, it might take time, and that's perfectly okay. But just keep taking small steps every day toward understanding and embracing every part of your history. And when this process of embracing yourself becomes challenging and cumbersome, always remind yourself of the wisdom from Carl Jung. Your vision will become clear only when you look into your heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes.